So I'll begin with all of your permission. Please go close the door. So distinguished participants, observers, and the delegates accompanying the worthy, as well as my friends who are live and who will have access to this recording later on. A very warm welcome to Phuro Innovations Annual World Peace Day Gathering and Thinking. This year, we are going to think about our collective responsibility towards the planet Earth. We will think about the practical solutions and the pathways that lead us towards global cooperation. When I talk about global cooperation, when I talk about climate change, I also want to remind that the main objective of Phuro Innovations is world peace. The idea is, when we think about it, how do we enable that? In today's scenario, to enable a magnanimous thing like world peace, we have to let go of our differences, which come with our nationalities, religions, at times customs, at times cultures, designations, which have been setting us apart since millennia. This is the first philosophy that Phuro Innovations adopted under the natural law. As you see, the posters and the documents here, is Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which is world is one family. And I also would urge everyone to start creating, whenever we talk about ecological peace, which is a very strong pillar of world peace and is the largest threat to humanity today, I would say that we must start building awareness and experiences for people of all genres to understand what it exactly is, and not keep it limited to 198 presidents and prime ministers who meet at UNFCCC during the COP30, who have met during COP29 or who will meet at COP30 and try to retain the temperature at 1.5. I will not dwell into it further. I will first say that let's see, we are in knowledge partnership with En-ROADS today. En-ROADS is climate simulator, which has been developed by Climate Interactive in association with MIT's Sloan Sustainable Initiative. And let's see what Andrew Jones, Executive Director, has to say, and then I'll take over from there. Andrew Jones.
Countries. We need to come up with ways that actually change En-ROADS. Jones. My name is Andrew Jones. I'm the Executive Director of Climate Interactive, and we work closely with MIT as a climate tech nonprofit organization to develop a simulator called En-ROADS to help top decision makers, business people figure out what really works to address climate. So with the climate challenge, we have the technologies, we have the policies, the world knows what to do to address this challenge. The research is out there, but my colleague here at MIT, Sloan, says it really best about climate science. Research shows that showing people research doesn't work. Research shows that showing people research doesn't work. We have to help people think for themselves. So we make interactive, transparent, fast-running, business-oriented simulations that are free online in 20 languages to help people see what really has a big impact, a little impact, what are the financial implications, and help people feel how great it would be to really crush this problem. New information doesn't change hearts and minds, but new experiences do. So what we've done is given people a chance to see hyper-local impacts in wildfire danger days, in heat, sea level rise, looking at any place in the world, their hometown, and connecting policies to see how much better would it be here where my business is located, where I have a home, if we took action on climate, make it hyperlocal and make it visceral and powerful. The climate challenge is an international challenge now. 68% of
So we heard him that he's saying that research doesn't move minds and hearts. And that's exactly what I observed as an observer at COP29, that even at a powerful forum where 198 presidents were present and they've been doing these meetings, they were not global consensus, and we still are struggling with that. So I came back and I sat on my desk and I thought, what is it that we can do that we should be able to move hearts and minds of people, and how do we? Also, I saw there was a huge gap between what was happening on top level and what was the understanding or what was percolating down at the middle of the down level. So we went back and we created this framework for conversation. I thought, what is it that is one common thread between the entire humanity? And that is 5 elements of life. We are made of 5 elements of life. The planet is made of 5 elements of life. So when I started doing research on 5 elements of life, and I'll explain it to you in a layman's language, what is really happening to the planet. So we have a body, it's 5 elements, and we have a temperature, right? It's a normal body temperature is about 98, 99. As soon as we start reaching 100, 101, 102, we start, we start ailing, we have fever, brain is foggy, organs are failing, and beyond 105, you are probably getting into coma and never coming back, or will come back with a miracle. So today, that's exactly what is happening to the planet Earth. Planet Earth has a temperature, which is 1.5. If we go beyond that, we are crossing the limit, which means she is ailing. And on top of that, we are producing more methane, more greenhouse gases, which are more potent than carbon. So they live in the atmosphere for 20 more years. So for example, the methane that I produce today is carbon will still go away, methane will remain. So what is happening is that the Earth already has temperature. Now I'm suffocating her with, on top, I'm throwing blankets on top of her. And I'm closing the windows and doors. So organ failures, right? And we as humanity, we have to think that do we want to get to a level where we go into coma, whether it is the planet or whether it is human species at large, and wait for a miracle, or should we take some proactive decisions? Now it's really not that scary, everything that I told you, because I found hope, and that hope was the En-ROADS simulator. And I want you to experience it for yourself. It's very captivating. It's very interactive. I trained myself for 3 months for this at MIT, and I will tell you that you will have a lot of questions. You will have a lot of thoughts, but this is live, so we have to. I would request that you note them down, and we will touch those points by the end of the broadcast. But today, this simulator, and so this was the first was obviously the natural law document, the framework on conversation, which has reached the Nobel laureate for Gutenberg, as well as the University of Amsterdam and 400 intergovernmental organization. I think it's a powerful step towards harmony, towards discussing, because I feel that the East has the wisdom while West has data, and when both merge, that's when we will be able to inspire change. Now, let's open the second document, and let's go to the En-ROADS simulation. So this, to any common man, who's completely new to climate change, who has no idea about what is going on, or is a corporation, an ambassador, an ex-army person, an NGO, or an academician from Harvard, an art person, everyone is responsible and everyone must be educated. And of course, the most important is our parliamentary country. So today we have Dr. Udit Raj, who's been a member of parliament before, and he would want to know what is this solution that I'm talking about. So Akhilesh, you will have to come here so we can move the En-ROADS. Let's go to En-ROADS. And so I will ask, I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just asking Dr. Udit Raj, what does he care for? If he was, he had to go back to the parliament, if he had to go back to Congress or BJP and convince them, let's say, about climate change. And when I went to him last time during general elections, and I said, sir, why don't you make this your political agenda? And he said, I need votes. You don't understand that every politician needs votes. And to get me votes, public will not vote for me on these things because the public is not educated. And that is why we as a World Peace Organization have started. Now we have done enough research, there are enough documents, there's enough conversation. We want to make it a civic movement where now we are educating the civil people as to how much important it is for you to know that it is time for us to get involved and take ownership of it. So let's go to Enros. Can you share Enros? So I'll ask Dr. Udit Raj, what does he care for when he thinks about climate change today? What he thinks should make a difference? If he's stuck somewhere, if you have a better idea, and you look at this simulator here, if you think that there is something that, whether it is energy, whether it is Enros, not energy, yeah, yeah, whether it is Enros, yeah, it's just. So whether it is buildings and energy efficiency, whether it is oil, coal, technological, removal, deforestation, what does he care about? So what we will do is, the target here, we look at the screen, it says 3.3. The question is, will humanity survive this century? Because we are crossing temperature. At 3.3, we don't even need to talk because we will not survive, but it's just a scenario. Because at one point, I think at 2 only we'll start dying because you can't survive in 54, 55 degrees Celsius, right? But this is the latest available science. This is since the pre-industrial revolution times till now. What was the population in the world? How was the energy demand? What was the GDP? What was the energy consumption? Whether it is oil, gas, natural gas, whatever is written there is right there. So idea is we don't have to become data scientists here or data engineers. Let's get the concept right. So I'll ask a question to Dr. Ovita. So what do you think if you would have been your first thing as a policy that what our target is we need to bring the temperature down to 1.5 and we will know right here if we are making a difference in the policy or not. So from 3.3, it's a game, it's a simulation, and let's have fun with it. Let's bring it down to 1.5.
Thank you. Rachana ji has worked with me in my parliament. She was in charge of a model village, which she did very well, very sincere person. But let me tell you, let us understand Indian society. Very briefly, I touch upon why such issues are not being highlighted or not important. Say 10, 15 years back, I was connected with the Green Party of Scandinavian and European. Many European parliaments were very close to me on human rights issues. There, it could become possible that a party was floated and still there, where the member of parliament are elected. That is called a Green Party. Green member to European Parliament. Here, what happened is that our society is a very individual society, or individualistic society, selfish society, and there is a whole competition to accumulate as much as wealth is possible and then pass it on to another generation. But in other societies, it's not like this. Those societies are community-based societies. So, by and large, people look for community interest, not individual interest. Unless until there is a mass awareness and people are involved, politicians are not going to listen, are not going to take up this issue. But what happened last year when I was contesting election from Northwest Delhi, of course Congress and Aam Aadmi Party alliance, I tried to transpire such issues, but see the constitution which I belong, hardly people know this. They're not bothered about it. Only, of course, middle class, a few educated people, they think that, of course, this is a very alarming time. Climate is a very, very important thing. But the rest, they don't bother about. Unless until uh, awareness is done at the youth level or at level of those who are involved in academia, in education, are the journalists, writers, thinkers. I'm sorry to say this in our country that those who uh, are concerned, uh, they don't have that much patience and courage to go to grassroots level, unlike Europeans. see what happened. The social sciences, most of the social sciences were developed by European in our country, but when it comes to uh, our achievements, we say that where is money, no facility. For instance, I was civil servant. So I read anthropology was one of my subjects in civil services. And I'm 90 batch IRS. My wife retired from Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. And Arvind Kejriwal was junior to me, 2 years junior to me. And I saw that most of the books authored on sociology and anthropology were written by foreigners. They say, look at their dedication. They would go to the forest area, they'll dwell there, where they will remain in the villages, and they will study, and the best thing they produce out of what is there. But when it comes to, then we say that where are our where are resources? So what happened? Commitment is needed. You people need to have a commitment. I'm just talking to you people that you people, Idhar can start campaigning it and launch a platform. And unless until who will come, that if you think that you only is the job of politician, so not necessarily it's not correct. So your job as well. And they are doing so many things. And why can't you take one mission? This is what I will say, that you take up one mission.
Definitely. So let's start. Which one would you do first? Deforestation, nature-based, energy efficiency. Just go back to those things. And we will move it here. And I will show you how it is made. What would you change? Anyone? Anybody? What would you change?
Economic growth.
Sorry?
Economic growth. So while being in industry, how
So you want to keep it at status quo, or you want to go down with it? You want to go up with it? See,
go
your
down
economic
with
growth
it,
is right.
certainly.
It's right.
Go down with it. I've seen Sterling Purple collapsing because of the non-correlating, these entire years reports.
So you're saying we are assuming that we will go down in economic. We are to stop.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's a scenario, right? All right. So if you go, see, you can actually make a significant impact. You're going from 3.3 to 3, but the thing is you will remain poor, right?
Yeah.
So it's a choice you made. It's okay. It's okay. We are only looking at a scenario. Sir,
I think renewable.
this can create in milliseconds 100,000 scenarios. We don't have to worry. There's nothing wrong and right. We're just learning.
I think
Renewables. So we are assuming that we are actually increasing renewables at full capacity starting 26, and we made a significant difference. We went down by 0.1.
Rachna, I want to see if you make coal zero.
You make those 0. 1, yeah.
Population.
We brought the temperature down.
What
to 1.
about
So the
deforestation?
point is,
Deforestation.
About
even
natural
an
nature.
economy like the US, President has said coal should continue. He finds windmills ugly. So please understand, our country is not going to reduce
We
coal
are
ever.
only creating a similar. We are understanding climate. We are not making any change.
No, I know, but we all know if you shut all the coal plants, go into nuclear, go to solar, it will improve.
Waste and leakage. So so
How
waste and
many
leakage.
population?
So 2, deforestation is again bringing it down by 1. Waste and leakage. Let's see if we go 100% waste and leakage control. 2.5.
How
It's
about
major.
It's
Did
a
you
major.
see? Did you see?
Even I
3,
think, even I think.
3. Exactly. This is what we are learning. We are not doing anything. We're just learning. So which policy should be our priority? This is what this is teaching.
So could you check the population?
Sorry?
Electrification transport.
Electrification. So let's see electrification
100%.
transport.
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
You don't have the grid capacity, but we can do it right here.
It's a chicken egg story. You don't have grid capacity.
Just
Yeah.
play along with the
It's
economic.
not moved the needle. Look, if you go full, you're not moving the needle.
Rachna, just play along with the economic growth once.
What do you want to do? Go back to economic growth?
Okay.
Status quo, where we are today?
Status quo and then a little increase.
If you increase, it will increase the energy demand, right?
Yeah.
So here you are increasing the temperature.
And how about the population?
So our right now our goal is to bring it down. We can reduce. What else?
Carbon dioxide, like nature based.
Carbon. You're saying remove carbon, nature based.
Yeah.
And we go, let's say, 100% capacity. 2 point down, right? 2 point down. So it's very. Here only we are learning what we need to do as policymakers. What else? Technology. Where?
And the carbon
You're talking
dioxide.
about carbon dioxide removal. Okay, so you want to go full-fledged, 100%? Let's say. So we brought it down from 2.1%. It's actually making 1 degree. It's making 1, like 0.1. Yeah, 0.1. It's making a difference. What else?
Actually, can we check with the population, which is again a very
Population. If you want to increase or decrease.
Which one will decrease?
I'm just asking. Population.
Then we
So
are
if
on
you
with
see,
both.
we were at 2.3. It's not really making a difference.
Emissions, agriculture emissions.
Agriculture emissions, very strong
Reduce.
point. Lucy, what did you do? 2 points down.
This is the only thing workable in my risk.
Yeah. So agriculture emissions,
That's
waste and leakage. Oh my! Like this is what parliamentarians need to do, right? Right. Okay. What else from this? Energy supply. Anything from here? So
So along with the agriculture,
I think it was. Can you, Akhilesh? Can you just
industry emissions.
bring it down?
That's why I'm trying to understand that when you move one of these to the high growth, their other
You don't
are
change.
also at the high growth. Do you bring them to status quo and then only move the other?
No,
The rest of
so
them
this
also
is
stay
what
at high growth.
We are learning how
Segregated.
multi-solving because see, nothing is solving a problem.
Hmm.
If we are doing one thing, it's not solving a problem.
Okay,
It's
so we
only
do.
helping.
Oh, okay.
So one thing,
Simultaneously.
what is that we are learning? One is we are learning what is really impacting climate and which policy we need first and last. And this could depend again differently to different. You see, when the parliament takes a decision, it will not really take a decision based on what this is saying, but they can create scenarios, and they can create scenarios based on their preference. But at least it's giving us hope, right?
In multiple
So let's
sectors.
discuss afterwards because we are live right now. We have to play this game. What else, please? We'll open this discussion. Yeah.
Interesting.
What else?
increase bioenergy.
Okay, let's go 100% bioenergy. What did it make? 1.1?
Yeah,
0.1.
how carbon prices are going to affect?
Carbon price. Like if you tax carbon, 1.7. It's made a difference. Amazing. See? If you tax carbon, because see, the minute you start taxing carbon, obviously coal, oil, everything will become so expensive, natural gas. Then you have no choice but to go with a new technology. And so 2.1, you brought it down by
1.7.
yeah, it's 4 high taxation. But what happens with high taxation is also see all of this. If you go here, like I said, if
But all of
anybody
them
wants
are-
to, sorry.
Sorry.
If you want to learn it in details, then obviously there's a workshop of it, and they'll come to the parliament, they'll come to the corporation, they'll deal with they have the capacity to deal with one client at one time, So right now we can't go that deep. We're just doing just creating scenario. What else?
Can you check for nuclear and the energy efficiency?
I don't like nuclear, but if you're saying let's go full-fledged nuclear,
Considering the other
not moving needle,
Yeah.
not moving a needle, doing nothing for
And
us.
energy efficiency.
Energy efficiency. It will definitely buildings. Okay, let's make them energy efficient. One point difference. What
How
else?
about oil?
Oil. We will reduce it to capital.
Which is very difficult.
Oil. So look, we brought it down again by 1. So if you really look at it, coal and oil that's what we talk about, and that's what we are afraid of. But it's really not making a difference. What is making a difference is really agriculture and waste, right? That's the learning here. Isn't that the biggest learning? It's like, oh, we brought the temperature to 1.5. We are already at 1.5. So well done, everybody. Now you understood, right? So what we are saying now here is, how do we bring him online? Because he's not able to copy this. He's waiting. Yes. Sorry? Rest he's not able to copy it from there. So what I want to now, should we move on? Let's go back to the main page.
Krishna, you will be, I think, glad that you need a simulator which also includes your natural
In my,
law of nature.
that's there in knowledge partnership already. You're doing this together.
I mean, in
Right.
the simulator.
Yeah,
Simulator.
at some point. So look at this document now. What is interesting I want to tell you about is that once we started this En-ROAD simulator, and once we were doing our natural law and just kind of reviving where we started from. The first was obviously the natural law, that we spoke about Vasudeva Kutumbaka, what is a family, we spoke about what is happening to planet Earth. Now I'm going to talk to you about the Shiva hypothesis, which is again a very full-fledged science. So Shiva hypothesis is a term coined by two very famous scientists, Victor Cube and William Napier, as well as the Smithsonian Institution and En-ROAD system. These are fact sheets, these are data. They are saying that the carbon that is present on the planet today was seen some 800,000 years back. And this is what a Shiva hypothesis. Shiva hypothesis talks about the natural carbon cycle of the planet. Now, this natural carbon cycle of the planet Earth has been unbalanced, and we are saying that it's very easy for us to put a blame on industrial revolution, right? So it's not the industrial revolution. If you ask us as a research and development institution who analyzes data and statistics and philosophies around the world, it is the human greed, okay? Because revolutions and innovations happen because we want our life to be better. But the mistake that we did at that time was we did not create any carbon cap. How much should a country produce? How much should a individual leader be allowed to do that in his country if it's not a democratic country, if it is still a monarchy or it's still a communism or whatever else in the world? So there was no ethical boundary, there was no legality, there was nothing. So first revolution, we lost obviously we lost our craft and everything to machines. Second industrial revolution brought in oil and gas and steel. And you see what we've done today is we already are facing this problem that today we have to do these workshops and we have to do this. It's something that was natural now has been devastated. And while we are talking about all of this, we have another problem, which is artificial intelligence. Because today, it is the third industrial revolution or technological revolution, and it doesn't have a cap right now. It is not saying who should do so much or how much innovation should happen in artificial intelligence and what should be the cap. So where is the legislation? Where is the framework? And that is why I wanted to present the AI paper along with the natural law document today, that all of this is interconnected. The mistake that we did before, and we are not able to solve it, we must not do that. And for that, I had an international speaker who is the founder of BioCube, and he started this artificial intelligence company because he had a major fraud. And in that fraud, the Interpol, the FBI, everyone was involved. He was one of the most powerful people and a banker that I know personally, that he could walk into any of the president's office and for business. But a thing like this happened to him. And that is when I wanted his opinion on AGI. But he's not able to join us right now. If we somehow try it again, otherwise. How do we get it? Should we get him on phone or link copied, right? Link copied. Just wait because it will be worth it. He will actually tell you the nuances which are there with artificial intelligence and how we must be very careful about it. We had sent him a link, but I think that's not. There's no other way to do this. Sorry? So there's no other way to do it. How else can you explain it?
Oh, you can call him on Google link, Google Meet, and then share the link or share the screen.
So I'll tell you, meanwhile, I want to tell you some data that today at present we have 38 billion tons of carbon that are being produced. So 38 billion tons of carbon are being produced every year, out of which I'm just giving you the meta classes to see the world in a different way. We know that what is for us to know is who is producing this. So it's just for joke's sake, but it's actually almost like the World War II situation with Allied and Axis forces. So if you see that China produces 15 billion tons of carbon emissions per year, which is equivalent to 30 nations. So America, India, 27 European Union countries, Japan, Russia, together produce 15 billion tons of carbon. And China alone is producing that much. So even if today the world came together and said we will reduce our carbon emissions, it will not make a difference to the temperature because we need to have one world policy. And that is why, as a World Peace Institute, speaking some purely from education point of view, that this is not the time to do war on this. It's time to open dialogue, it's time to open cooperation, and it is time to start talking to China. And whether that is via these intergovernmental organizations, if they are listening to me today, right now it's World Peace Day ceasefire, so I'm being on the safer side. I chose the right time and right day to talk about it. That please start having a conversation with China on how either they must request the president to step down, or they must. The other thing that they should do is, or they put a cap on it. Why have I called you here? What is it in like different genres, different industries? For me, you all are influencers in your own respect, in your industries, very important people in the country. What I wanted to tell you was, one is if you belong to a corporation or you know someone in corporations, please inform them that they need to now legally, accept the NDCs, because International Court of Justice on 25th July gave a landmark advisory opinion that now the Paris Agreement of 1.5 is legal, which means there is going to be a lot of pressure which will come on corporations anytime. It's like going cashless. You know what happened in our country that time? It was a crazy thing. So when the international pressure comes, suddenly there will be a policy. You will not be ready. Start transitioning towards green economy now. It's fast, as much as you can. If you are a parliamentarian, my request is please take enroads to the parliament, to the parliamentarians, and teach them. It would used to take a lot of time to do policies, because you could create a scenario in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then sit and discuss a policy. Today you can create different scenarios. We saw in 10 minutes we could create a scenario that I will do this, and this. I will bring the temperature. You can do this. You can do this. So you can do multiple things. There's enroads. I think it's the best thing that's happened to us at the right time. They have ambassadors around the world, in our country as well. So if you are looking for a workshop, they can come to your parliaments, they can come to your offices and teach you on policies and create these scenarios. Go deeper into, as much as if you're talking about carbon taxing, they're talking about how much carbon tax and what difference it will make on other things. It goes down to that, minute detail. So that's second. And third is, of course, Supreme Courts and the lawyer fraternity, which needs to get active, because now the ICJ's, this advisory opinion on retaining the temperature to 1.5 is legal, which means it also gives me as an individual and you as an individual and the countries an immunity to actually sue another individual or another country if it is harmful to you or if it is creating a devastating environment. So I think it is the first thing that happened was the 25th of August when Supreme Court of Himachal Pradesh called on the state against a writ petition that tell us why are you doing this rampant infrastructure development. So this is something, if you are friends with lawyers, please ask them. If you're friends with Supreme Court, bar councils, tell them to start doing writ petitions and start involving the government, holding them responsible. Again, I'm saying this is World Peace Day. I'm a World Peace Institute. It's a research and development. I'm talking straight data and statistics here, and I'm only doing my duty. So this is not a political statement. Please, just because I'm sitting next to a member of parliament, this is completely coming from education point of view, and I feel that the natural law has been violated, and we must hold on to stop. So, are we?
Yeah, he's
joining.
I think
Is there? Where is it? Which link is it? This one? Where is it? And now what will he do? He needs to share this. So by the time he figures out what's happening in technology, could we? Do you have any questions on Enroad Simulator? Any thoughts? Anybody wants to?
Just a quick question, Rashna, if we have time. So like
I
we
mean,
saw,
question. I mean, yeah. Just I would want. I'm not. Look. I mean, I don't think I've tried to do a Q&A here, but I would really like to hear from you because you're very senior leaders here. I think it's your observer opinion is something that matters more than questions.
I just want to understand, like, if we are just addressing one part of these stimulators, like, these options you presented are, obviously they are going to reflect another segments as well. So I'm sure, like, if they are doing research of a level, so there must be certain parameters which are fixed for each and everything which is being impacted if we are impacting one single aspect.
Yes. All of this is there. So if you want to know all of that and you are like interested to have a workshop, then they will organize a workshop. You can contact us, you can contact them directly. Enrose is a non-profit and they work, it's almost every resource is free. And that's why I'm saying it's a wild card. It's a wild card, and I feel that it can change our destiny. We don't want to wait for, and this is, see, our job is to just go around the world and try and bring these innovations for us, especially in South and Southeast Asia. That is primarily, if you see any report, World Bank, IPCC, Hindu-Kush Himalayan region, every technical report that has ever come that I studied in the last 2 years talks about only South and Southeast Asia being the most vulnerable to climate change. And of course, a big threat to world peace. Because you see, whenever there is scarcity, there is conflict. We already have resource scarcity. Imagine food security. Imagine things like migrations. You see, today there is every day. Who will know it better than him, right? There's an issue in the parliament every time with Bengal that they're saying there's migration. How will you handle migrations of that genre when you have Himalayan glaciers melting and the viruses are waking up after 2,000 years? So this is fact. This is data that all of these statistics that are being presented to us, they are true. They are not a myth. Climate change is not a myth. So what we are seeing right now is just the tip of the iceberg, which is harming our lives. But don't just finish this conversation here, get out of the boardroom and forget it. Because I think we all should have a collective responsibility towards the planet Earth and humanity. And trust me, it's not like just because it's World Peace Day. Of course, it's World Peace Day, and we would like to do an event, but it's not. It's not just. That is why we hosted this small conference and gave access to everyone worldwide. The idea is also to connect with global communities, learn from them, not be in a bubble that we will be able to solve this problem. We will not. We have to talk.
Just one question. When we talk about China, when we talk about Southeast Asia, I mean, I guess China has most of the industries that are basically US based or Europe. So these developed nations have already loaded our environment with with the carbon and everything. And now there's a capping for the developing nations. And when we talk about China, so most of the industries are from actually US and Europe that are being placed here in China. They move their manufacturing plants to China. So one point is this. The second point is, I mean, the ongoing war, Russia, Ukraine, and everything. So for past 3 years, trillion metric tons of pollution has been there, gases. Now the reconstruction would also do the same. So I mean, these 2 points are just
Yeah.
I think it comes down to what you said, greed. I think there's an enrolled simulator should be on greed, because as our greed to conquer the states or conquer the borders or the conquering of the oil is increasing, I'm just going to talk about fast fashion, right? So if I had to tackle fashion, I come from the world of craft. 25 years before that, I worked in fashion, in fast fashion. It's the growth, the biggest growing, lever as well as destroyer of the planet. But yet, Shark Tank. You look at Shark Tank. You look at all the schemes that are going into, whether it's coming from corporate or CSR, or everything is sort of flooding. जितना सस्ता बनाओगे, उतना better, उतना growth करो. No one cares about it. But now it's up to us, people who have achieved whatever so far we have achieved. Now we have to say, okay, do we really want to continue? It's up to human beings. I don't think it's up to one person making a decision, because the Donald Trumps of the world and everybody in the fighting. What are they fighting for? Boundary extension. They are going in the medieval times that अभी भी हमको और more and more चाहिए. उसके लिए आप 2 मिलियन के nuclear weapons और ये सब मार रहे हो, उससे उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है. हमें पड़ रहा है फर्क. मर कौन रहा है? हम. Yeah. So we have to decide how much growth is important to us. That is I left my job now doing craft. Most difficult thing to convince someone that आप 5,000 के 2 कुर्ते ना लो, 20,000 का एक ले लो. उसको बार-बार पहनो.
Sustainability.
And I'm talking about Delhi and Bombay. So we have to start with us, that we need to say that how you are treating.
I would just say that the definition of luxury has to change. For people, luxury is brands. They want to go to buy certain things from a brand, but not understand that this actually is from a mind of a weaver who did not even know that it looked like this. So he has a computer in his mind that वो धागे को रंगता है, फिर उसके बाद इसको पिरोता है, और फिर उसके बाद weft and waft से वो उसको जो बनाता है. He does not even know. So he is a genius, and that is what we pay for, is what people need to understand. Also, coming to little smaller things, not talking about great things that we all are talking about. I think we all need to understand that. So
we have to speak now. Oh, yeah, Anurag, we continue.
Sure.
We waited for half an hour. Can you hear us?
He's on mute.
You have muted yourself. Yes, we can hear you. So please welcome Mr. Subodh Narayan Agarwal, and he will tell you all about. I've already given you introduction, soft introduction before, as the founder of artificial intelligence platform, BioQ. And I also told them that it's very important for us to know the nuisances that we have in front of us, and there is a real-time story. And please tell us about, tell us everything about, what you did and why you quit that and why you started, and of course your opinion on AGI going forward. 100%. We want negative opinions. Only then we will be able to create a legislation. Otherwise, it will never happen. Sure thing.
That. So I thought, I would get all my money in a fling. Sadly, I chased money for 3.5 months.
Not be doing. Yes, so very strong statement that we should not be doing AGI. And I just mentioned it, Mr. Agarwal, that we actually hold the first and second industrial revolution responsible for carbon emissions and today's damage. But I feel what we were not able to think as leaders of the world that time was that if we are emitting carbon emissions now, if we are obviously producing steel and coal and oil and everything, what should be the cap on carbon emissions? How much should every country, rather than saying how much are we going to reduce, we should have said, and we can still say, how much are you going to produce? And beyond that, there should have been a hook, there should have been an ethical boundary, there should have been a legality. Today, in 2025, ICJ has stepped in and is saying 1.5 degrees is obviously the legal now, legally binding to our NDCs, and we should do that. At this juncture, when we are about to die, almost, right? If we go with the same scenario, Andros simulator says that we will not survive if we go with the same scenario. So AGI, same thing. You're saying we should not do it. I agree with you because we have not been able to deal with climate change. We still are not, we've not even made one policy that is friendly towards climate change in the world as well as in our own country. Very little changes. Everyone is very proud of what they've done, but I don't think it is really happening at a speed it should. And we are bringing in another problem, AGI, and there is no cap. How much innovation should you do in AGI? What kind of world? So basically, in today's scenario, I see a planet which is destroyed, and I only see robots living here. So is exactly, this is the data and statistic. This is not a mythology. This is not a story. So very strong point, and I would definitely minute it. And you are so, you still have access to the world leaders. You should start, probably. I will definitely point this out to the heads of state. Yeah, Nikita has a question.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, sir. I have two teenager kids who go to a school back here in Delhi. One's 15 and the younger one is 13, and they play sports and all of that. But everything right now in grade 10th, and it's an international school, in grade 10th and in grade 8 is totally surrounded around AI. Every subject has some link to AI, and if that is really such a big problem, why is the government not kind of hindering or stopping somewhere from these schools to have very grassroots level of education and not completely go towards the side of AI? It's a layman's question, but just as a mother rather than an entrepreneur, why are we, sir, not trying to stop this? I mean, how do we stop our children to get attracted to this devil? Okay, okay, great to know that, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So when we did inroads, and obviously you have to leave, but we'll tell you the breakthrough that we achieved.
Shall I ask one question?
Yeah, sure. Dr. Udit Raj, former member of parliament, wants to ask you a question.
Yeah, you said that you are Indian, but you are living in a Western country. Uh, I think you are not doing justice to the land where you are living. If you are more Indian, you should come and settle here and do something. And same question, in America, I addressed 4 states congregation, and many Indians they said that where our culture is great, our country is great. I said, what the hell you are here? Go to the country and serve the country. And you are rich enough that even if you deposit your money in the bank out of interest, you can survive whole life. And why aren't you coming back to India? Isn't it a hypocrisy?
World is one family. That's our first philosophy. World is one family.
Then it's not Western, then not Eastern, and the South Indian is one family.
Then we are giving in to Trump, sir. That if everyone leaves, we
No,
are giving
then
in
we
to
have
Trump.
become-
I think we need some Indians there.
We
also.
definitely need
We need some Indians
I tell
making
you,
a
I've been
backing. I think.
globally, I've been addressing a lot of gatherings, but I see this hypocrisy. And I find, let me tell you, as you are very spared and spared, I too, I am known for it in our country, in our parliament also. Of course, I was very close to Modi ji, and he used to like me. But I'm a very straightforward person. She worked with me. I'm sorry to say, I mean to come in like this, that of course, they live in our country and they said that they love India. And then what happened that you are not doing just to the country where you are. You should be true to that country. You say that that country is great. Had I been in your place, then I could have said I'm a proud Londoner. I'm proud British. I would have not said that I'm more Indian. Yes.
You asked for it.
Can we come back to ecological pain from politics?
The button. Your button.
Wow.
Why don't you advise Mr. Modi to
We are done with it. Okay, I think it's World Peace Day, so let's make peace with each other. It's World Peace Day. We're talking about ecological peace.
I'm very happy to interact with you. We'll continue our discussion later.
I think we should take this offline, yes, because let's just continue. We have no time left. All right. We're not ending. No, we can't end. We have the music. Okay. Yes, Mr.
Thank you
Ross,
so much,
thank you
sir.
very much.
Really
for your
appreciate your
time.
time.
We'll see you in India next time very soon. Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
So now we have another. We are actually 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So we are 7 minutes over time, but I definitely want to introduce you to the hard work that Shefali has put in to revive the musicians of the country. You know, specifically when COVID happened and all these Gharana musicians ran out of food, she was the one who she actually went out of her way to raise money to revive the instruments, and she's happening. So what is the problem that these people are facing is technology. So I think I would like, why don't you say something for just please for like 1 minute, not beyond that, and then we will listen to just let's see what she has created for 5 minutes and then we'll end the stream. Thank you.
So little bit of a contribution from my side. I come from fashion world. So I understood we are the biggest polluter of the climate, and we are rewarded for a lot of growth and overcome stores sales. So I try to do a difficult part is to tell the patrons to get closer to the what they wear. So what we do is we buy based on what the influencer says that you should buy, or a trend says what you should buy, or what a status brand says what we should buy, or what friends validate us from, or Western world validates us. We don't know why we buy, but 80% of what we buy we never wear. So the problem is not that we don't have clothes. The problem is that we have no awareness. And where does it go?
Sorry, say it again. We have no awareness.
Awareness.
We're not aware.
So the awareness from the beginning, when how it's grown to where it lands up when you don't wear it, that is something that we know. So a smaller part of that was that I tried to tell people you have to replace their choices with a better choice, right? So I created a center, music and craft center, where I'm bringing the patrons to come closer to the craftsmen and tell them how it becomes a ecosystem, like how you can become a patron of change just by buying craft and making it more interesting. So what I'm wearing is all Indian, but a Westerner or an Indian can wear or think that it can wear, but how they're changing the past. So this is what I do. And with musicians, I'm just trying to eliminate some carbon footprint so that they don't become the next Uber drivers, the musicians, or the next, that's the only chosen profession, because as AI takes over the music world, they'd lose their jobs because they're the grassroots level musicians. We all love music, But we are very happy giving Diljit Dosanjh the money, but we are not happy giving somebody who plays sarangi. Our children are playing guitar, but they are never playing rabab. They don't even know what that is.
Confused between modernization
Yeah.
and
And
westernization.
so I'm creating a platform where I bring you all the instruments of India. 100 plus instruments are there. We see them in museums. But instead of museums, I would like you to see. And it is we have the youngest population. We can do wonders when the world can come to us. सारे तो यहीं आ रहे हैं experiences करके हमारा ही पैसा उनका GDP बढ़ा रहे हैं हम अपना क्यों नहीं बढ़ा रहे? So that awareness has to come from all of us. That first is incubation. That is where we don't put in money. Like he's right. Research and development में zero money. Only pharmaceutical करता है क्योंकि उसको बड़े सारे पैसे मिलते हैं. But when it comes to incubation of musician draftsmen that we are known for, I lived 24 years in America, and I was known for the clothing I wear or the things I bring from India. But here we love the Westerners, and when I say global world nahi hai, Western only. When we say global,
And I think it's changing now, thoda.
No, that's what I'm saying. They confuse between modernization and westernization.
Actually, it's a very big topic to debate.
Let's see what she
I'm
has
not
created.
claiming what we are coming
And
from.
then we will end the stream and we'll have a conversation.
so what I just to give you a brief, but
Let's just get the music recorded. Because I just want a lot of international people to see that, because otherwise we will lose they will not, when you're watching a recording, they just want to see what's there.
There's
And
somebody
then we
else
can do the
looking at us.
conversation.
Yeah.
Just let's play it for 2 minutes. Let's just see it for 2 minutes.
What
Sure,
what
sure.
you
Why
know
not?
about?
Yeah, please.
This is just
That's okay. Hold on.
ये पूछते हम लोग बाकी चले जाओ
The whole team upstairs, clarification.
Please, Swamiji, come.
I'm very scared of intelligent people here, that's the problem. वो मुझे बुलाई थी मैंने कहा कॉम्प्लेक्स तो नहीं है मुझे.
Excuse me. Please give Swamiji a picture. Please, Swamiji.
फिल्म क्लैरिटी आ गया
So 2 minutes and we end. 2 minutes is good enough, right? Yes. Or 1 minute. Let's just do this in 1 minute. This happened.
लोधी गार्डन
When we were doing
तो लोधी गार्डन
subvision term.
this happened the day we were doing the test also. You know what? I actually attended my first live broadcast 10 years back at Deepak Chopra's Center for Meditation in Santiago. It has taken me 10 years to do this small scale, live. Just imagine where we stand as a nation when it comes to technology, right?
Oh.
I attended my first, and they were like, they're so big when it comes to live broadcast and other. They're another level of technology. We are like still dealing with it. But I think I need to
It's
like.
also very interesting, Rasmiji, how sir was mentioning that we don't read anything. So if you refer to Mr. Piyush Goyal's statement that we are coming up with ice cream.
No, that's okay.
There's no
See, the thing is, we are not
there's no-
creating anything because we already have so much. We need to just keep going. We need to revive all of that. We have to understand our strength. Our strength is art, culture, craft,
आवाज नहीं आ रही.
spices.
Right, right.
We need to bring that important thing. They don't have that, right? So they are more. There's another. So we have to. That's why I say world is one family. So they are. Let's say they are really good in tech, and that's why I say if NASA is already spending so much money, why should everybody create a NASA? It creates debris.
But as ma'am mentioned, we're forgetting our Indian roots.
Not
I
working.
mean, there's-
Yeah.
I think that we have
Anyway.
solution within among
All right,
among
because
ourselves.
it's getting
only. We
recorded,
have to
so
get
let's
back to the
just
roots.
we'll watch it offline. Let's just end the broadcast. Should we end the broadcast?
You can put a
We'll
separate
we'll
video.
separately
You
record
can
it.
put a separate